today's youth sports culture, the emphasis on early specialization and intense training is a growing concern.
A lot of these club sports are treated like professional sports, and so the pressure on these kids is really tremendous. We can see that burnout happen a lot sooner.
There is a physical toll. According to the National Institute of Health, 50% of youth sports injuries are considered overuse injuries.
Every moment of these young kids' lives is being watched.
While the relentless pursuit of excellence can also have a profound impact on young minds.
So you have some of the internal stressors, their own expectations about their performance, but you have a lot of external pressures. Social media, parents' expectations, their classmates, and if they perform really well, they get a boost of energy and some enthusiasm, but if they perform not up to other people's expectations, it can be really challenging.
Caleb Joseph personifies some of these challenges.
I fell in love with basketball at an early age. All the fireworks went off, and from that point on, I've been in love with it.
The Nashua, New Hampshire native soon devoted every part of his life to the game.
By the time I'm in 8th grade, I received my first Division I scholarship offer. For a young, insecure kid, you go to school and everybody starts to treat you like you're somebody because you have these accolades.
After being named one of the top 10 point guards in the country, Caleb committed to Syracuse University.
Kids like me, kids from where I'm from, we don't get this type of opportunity, and all I could think of is just don't mess it up. The expectations that were placed on me from others, but mostly from myself, it just felt overwhelming.
His performance on the court suffered, leading Sports Illustrated to name him one of the top 10 most disappointing players.
I didn't know what to do with the way that I felt, and the only thing I'd learned up until that point of my life is to avoid it and find ways to escape.
Eventually, he sought help, and this cautionary tale took an uplifting turn.
I'm only here to help. That's all I care about.
Caleb, using his struggles and his experiences,
your brain is programmed to avoid suffering and discomfort,
to become a mental health advocate who emphasizes the importance of open dialogue and navigating emotions.
I run a business called the Self-Help Tour, where I travel the country having this conversation with athletes and parents and the entire ecosystem of athletes, really, helping them understand and navigate their identity and how their mental health influences the quality of their performance, the quality of their life, and kind of functioning this intersection between mental health, mental performance, and just quality of life.
While more and more athletes are opening up about their feelings on and off the field, access to support remains crucial.
Oftentimes, kids don't really want to talk to somebody or don't know how to talk to a counselor. We found a way to make that type of a session more sporty, more fun.
1, 2, 3, PSU!
Nice.
Doc Wayne, a Boston area nonprofit, is using sports to facilitate mental health conversations.
We're equipping young people with skills that they can use in the moment, but also give them enough practice through sport to be able to use those skills in their future life.
Doc Wayne's Chalk Talk program blends group therapy with team sports, creating a safe space where young people can open up about their emotions while learning teamwork, resilience, and confidence.
What do we do in these situations when it gets hard?
Breathe.
Breathe, take some deep breaths.
Led by licensed clinicians like Griffin, who also double as coaches.
Hey, way to be supportive, Henry.
These sessions, like this one at the Dorchester Boys and Girls Club, help young people develop both on and off the field.
Good communication. There we go.
When play begins, coaches choose a meaningful word to emphasize.
Hunter, Henry, can we compromise?
Today, it's teamwork.
Teamwork is like when you have other people to play with and talk about stuff.
We motivate our teammates, so if something happens, we ask them, are you okay? Or if they missed the ball, we say it's okay, we could try again later.
Proving that victory isn't always measured on the scoreboard.
We all play sports and want to win. I don't know many people that don't want to win, so it's a great environment for them to have that competitiveness and learn one, that's okay, and two, these are kind of the other behaviors that we can put in place to be successful, not just in our sport, but in life.
I love that. And in addition to Chalk Talk group therapy, Doc Wayne also has a program called, and I love this too, Therapeutic Recess.
Yes, several Boston area schools take part. The organization offers a clinical take on the recess experience, and they also help schools support kids in their mental health journeys.
All right, up next, the economic boom fueled by youth sports.